All right, we're here with scaphism. I guess this is our last interview of the poker camp. And so, Jesse, what are your impressions of, let's say, this camp?
This camp was a good camp. It was a lot of hardworking guys. They took a lot of notes. I think they really kind of absorbed a lot of the information, and they had really good results this week that I think were really reflective of their hard work. And they asked good questions. All the camps have, but I was pretty impressed by this camp too.
Yeah. They sure asked a lot of questions. Had a lot of good results this time too.
Yeah, definitely more than 20K of profit. I think it was approached 25 this week.
Yeah.
So it feels good to be a part of that. I'm a proud papa.
Attaboy,
get him.
For the during the week, because we don't usually play a lot during the week when everybody's here. We just get like a day and a half maybe in of play or so, and so this week's group really made a lot of profit while they were here. I mean, like you said, probably over 20,000.
Yeah. I mean, I like to talk, so there's a lot of coursework and there's a lot more instruction than there is play. But these guys really made the most of their time. Had a lot of final tables while we were here, a lot of profit, and that was cool because really had the opportunity to talk a lot about kind of final table strategy and thinking through not just playing a structure, but approaching a final table with a specific strategy in mind based on stack sizes, and just executing that strategy. And all of our players did execute that strategy really well, and so you had deep runs and guys getting it in good, and some heads up finishes, some firsts, some other final tables. So definitely
cool deal. And this is the third time that we've done this together. And what are your impressions altogether, let's say, on like the format that we put together here at Roundo's Retreat, and how that's worked out with everyone?
Yeah, I think that like you mentioned, this is the third retreat. It's the fourth actual camp, and I really think the first couple of camps really went very well. I had a pretty distinct syllabus in mind, and I use video support as well as doing the hand reviews. So I really had a chance to kind of think through how I wanted to present my approach to poker, and not just like rote memorization of how to play poker, or what to do with this stack or with this hand, or what range of hands to open or whatever. But I really just my whole approach from the first camp was to really give people a framework about how to think about poker, and to just kind of really understand, rather than just thinking about, we kind of talk about it as tactics versus strategy, and talking about, oh, well, I have this hand, so I raise, that's just a tactic. But I really wanted to explain how to take advantage of tables, how to react to archetypes, how to, basically understand what your strategy should be when dealing with, a variety of types of players, and how to, exploit what's going on at your table. So that was always my focus. I would say the first couple of camps, the first camp or whatever, the syllabus is really kind of like winging it, and then I put together the best, camp that I could think of. But obviously, I've never, while I've coached, I had never taught in like a week-long setting where I'm trying to explain, basically
that kind of
more
format,
or less everything I know about poker. So, but the response was really good, and the student results were really good. So I've had the opportunity to refine a couple of things, and also, a lot of the questions tend to be pretty similar from camp to camp. So I feel like, I really kind of feel like at this point, I've thoroughly thought through kind of how I'm going to respond to those questions that have come up. So I already, have kind of anticipated it just from the questions that other people have answered. So now I feel like the first couple of camps were good, but I really feel like at this point I've kind of gotten down how to articulate my approach to tournament strategy. And I think the students are benefiting from it. We've had a lot of good results. Between all of the students, we're probably getting pretty close to $200,000 of profit. So I definitely think that, between having a good syllabus and our students working hard to, make the most of their money and their time here, that, you know, without trying to be like super egotistical, I think the camps have been a really big success, both for us in terms of getting interest, because I think there's pretty good buzz at this point that we're doing good, and also obviously from the students' perspective, you can measure that by profit and how deep they're going, and that that they're maintaining their stacks better as they get through tournaments. So yeah, I feel like it's been a pretty good success all around.
Right, and as you said, we have somewhere in the neighborhood of 200,000 in profit, and
yeah, not quite there, but we're quite close. We're like at 185 or so at this point. So I do keep I like to keep tabs. You come to camp, I'm gonna check up on you, see what you're doing a month later. Can't hide from scaphism too. He's watching you.
Are you including all some of the live profits too, or is it that just online?
Well, yeah, I think that you kind of have to count the live profit. I do think it makes a big difference, and we have had some really significant live tournament ships. Beyond the online success that we've had players banking off 20K plus scores, a number of students within a week after camp, and we also had one of our campers recently final tabled a World Series circuit event and finished third and played really well and was really happy with his play. So, and that was well over 20,000 as well.
Yep, I was there for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome. What do you think? What are your thoughts as far as the difference between this atmosphere that we create here and an atmosphere that you might get on some sort of Skype coaching session or something where there's something about the atmosphere, I think, of having 4, 5, 6 guys in the same room and kind of feeding off of each other.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different, that you just don't get that atmosphere somewhere in a sort of a Skype call.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the difference between also, not just a live atmosphere, but also, like you mentioned, a group atmosphere. And I think it is important to kind of have that, because a lot of the times people will ask questions that you wouldn't have thought of, but that you need to be asking, but that you may not have thought not to ask. And then a lot of times, too, when we talk about doing hand history reviews, you can pay somebody and do a hand history review, and they're going to tangentially cover kind of the stuff that comes up in your hand history review, but there's oftentimes going to be situations that you encounter that maybe weren't in your hand history review that you didn't discuss, and poker can have a lot of this kind of like nebulous gray area. You get to a certain stack size or a certain strange situation, and it becomes difficult to kind of figure out what to do, just because you don't have the familiarity, or it's a particularly bizarre circumstance. So the ability to have, really to go through those couple of days where we do, rattle off anywhere between 6 and 8 hand histories, and really kind of almost every sort of situation really I think gets covered between that and looking at a couple of my own personal histories, and I think that kind of groupthink and having the group questions and answers really helps. It actually, when I was doing my own Skype coaching, I found actually it became very helpful to do hand history reviews with 2 people and have, one person sit in for another person's review, and, I really found that people benefited a lot from that. And then also, being live, I think there's some more substantial questions being asked and answered. It teaches you, I think, to communicate your thoughts a little bit better when you're talking with a group of people, and kind of balancing your ideas versus how other people approach poker. And then also, one thing that I think is really sort of a benefit that doesn't, really, it's something you can't really explain through stats or whatever, is that, you come to camp and you kind of have a community of people after that, that you came to camp with, including myself, including you, Kevin, and Zenman. And I think that it helped, I think for a lot of these guys, they may have a couple people that they play poker with, but especially just having like a community of people who have the same sort of background in how they were coached or trained, is really, helpful for keeping your game on track, and checking for leaks or checking for mistakes, or having somebody you talk to on Skype that might reiterate something that came up at camp. So I think that I think it is very helpful to be in a group setting.
Could be like you could be like the Bill Walsh, and then you have all that list of followers who followed him down and into all the coaching ranks, and I forget all the coaches that he had, but that they all kind of feed off each other and become good players and good coaches and everything.
Bill Walsh, Vince Lombardi, scaphism too. So probably put me up there, and
probably in the same category.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I like to refer to myself. No, I'm just kidding. No, not at all. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it does help to have that kind of group of people that you talk to and have that background with. And another thing too is as we continue to do Rounders retreat camps, there's more and more of those people. Maybe you don't go to camp with a specific person, but I mean the syllabus stays. Even though I make some adjustments here and there, the syllabus is going to stay pretty similar. Again, I feel like I'm really in my comfort zone at this point with doing them. So you get the benefit of talking to all the people who preceded you in camp as well. The more that continues, the more the more you have, the more of a community you have to talk to.